Greetings, Crusaders. How y'all doing? It is I, Marshal Bohemond, and yeah, we are smug-maxing once again. Recently in Warhammer releases, there was the Warhammer I think it's called the Warhammer 40,000 Ultimate Guide. This is an officially licensed collection of all the information about 40k necessary put out by Games Workshop. It's part of an ongoing trend of basically big books of lore put out by gaming companies. And this is a recent release. I've not read the entire thing myself, but I have been sent screen caps of the introduction to the book. And it confirms something that a lot of us have realized now, some people have refused to accept, but is ultimately the objective truth. Warhammer 40,000 is not a satirical setting. It is not satire. This is no longer open for debate or discussion. This is a closed issue. Now, basically, this book pays a little bit of lip service to the people who want it to be that by saying it used to be that. I mean, it didn't. It didn't. It's been confirmed as such by its own creators, Rick Priestley. Rick Priestley and Andy Chambers have confirmed it was not ever meant to be satire. They clearly pay some lip service in this to appease certain crowds who cannot live without, unironic entertainment not being satire. But that's neither here nor there at the moment. We're going to read over the introduction. So this is the introduction to the book as shown in the screen caps. We will zoom in. Okay, we're going to read this from top to bottom. Welcome to the most terrible of futures. It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor of Mankind sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. By the might of his inexhaustible armies, a million worlds stand against the dark. Yet he is a rotting carcass, the carrion lord of the Imperium, held in life by marvels of the dark age of technology, and a thousand souls sacrificed each day so his may continue to burn. In this dark and terrible era, there's little comfort or hope. Forget the power of technology and science. Forget the promise of progress and advancement. Forget any notion of common humanity or compassion. There's no peace among the stars. That's very, very common. Very common lines. This is just part from the opening scrawl of 40k, like the classic opening. All right. The first big point is this. This is the second paragraph. This is the world of Warhammer 40,000, one of the greatest fictional universes ever conceived. Created in 1980s Britain, it is suffused with the satire, gallows humor, and black irony common to the nation. Warhammer 40,000 stands in stark contrast to optimistic settings found elsewhere. Yet this singular flavor has captured the imagination of millions. Warhammer 40,000, or 40k as its fans often call it, has become beloved the world over, and its cultural impact is undeniable. It gave birth to the genre grimdark and has become synonymous with gaming. All right, this is like the part where, like I said, they pay lip service to people who think it's satire. This is effectively saying, "Oh, okay, it was a silly setting that was didn't take itself seriously when we created it." Effectively, this is basically a misuse of the term satire. I feel like it's deliberate, again, to appease certain people who read this book. It is a little crumb, a little crumb to keep their tiny brains occupied, because they can't conceive of Warhammer as anything but satire. But here's the thing. That's not the end of the statement. It goes further. This is not the time nor the space here to go into the influences and circumstances that led to Warhammer 40,000's creation. It has its roots in the gaming revolution of the 1970s. Its forebearer and stablemate, Warhammer, was a fusion of popular role-playing fantasy themes and tabletop wargaming. In 1987, Warhammer 40,000 took many of these tropes to the far future. All right, continuing on to the second page. Since this is where it really begins to go into what 40k is actually about. Since then, it has matured into a complex, morally intriguing science fantasy setting. I will disagree on it being science fantasy, but that's neither here nor there right now. Where the oppressive regime of the Imperium is the only thing standing between humanity and annihilation. Key point. Despite the darkness of it all, the reasons for its population are manifold. First and foremost are the amazing models designed by Citadel Miniatures depicting the characters of the 41st millennium. These are the heart of the Warhammer hobby and what this book showcases. Painting and collecting armies and pitting them against each other in desperate struggles provides a rewarding creative outlet. The hobby doesn't stop on tabletop, however. Crafted by hundreds of hands, the background is deeply immersive, inspiring multiple creative activities from the incredible entries to the Golden Demon competitions to stunning cosplay costumes. Meanwhile, Warhammer has expanded into best-selling novels, comics, video games, television, and more. And, that's the hobby angle. Here is the key point that undermines the argument of Warhammer being satire. Warhammer 40,000 has a deep resonance. Its story is as powerful as any classical tragedy, a whole mythology of humanity laid low by hubris and the actions of inimical gods. It is the story of the failure of ambition and the limits of power, of the last bright lights of human heroism defying the coming apocalypse. Warhammer 40,000 is an endless playground for the imagination. But no matter what, it must never be forgotten that it is a dark tale, the tale of the end times, for in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. And there you have it, straight from the horse's mouth. This setting is not satire. It is about the Imperium of man that stands between humankind and annihilation. It is about humanity laid low by their former Xenos allies, by chaos, and how they fight humanity, the last bit of humanity's great empires, fighting to defy the coming apocalypse. It is a story whose core theme is the indomitable human spirit against a galaxy that hates it. Confirmed by Games Workshop. That's it. That's it. This is the one and only argument you need to ever disprove the idea that Warhammer 40,000 is somehow a satire of fascism. Because this is what it boils down to. You cannot satirize fascism and have the faction that is meant to be your satire be the hero, be the good guy. Because don't get me wrong, the Imperium of Man are the good guys in this setting. They are the heroes of this setting. Now you might ask, how can they be both what they are compared to modern morality, but also be the good guys? And it's a very simple point. The point is, in times when survival is the goal, anything that allows your survival is a moral good. They are dark morals for dark times. They are grim necessities to make sure mankind makes it to tomorrow. And without them, there would be no tomorrow for mankind. Well, and of course, what are the other options? Get exterminated by the Eldar, as they've said they wish to do, so they can bring back their empire once chaos is defeated. Join the Tau and get sterilized and put in concentration camps. Get eaten by Tyranids, get turned into gene stealers, get corrupted by the dark gods of chaos. Killed by orcs. The list of horrible things that will happen to mankind if the Imperium relents or is defeated is basically endless. And it's all because mankind had, committed the sin, as it were, of existing in a galaxy that doesn't want it to. And that is the core theme of Warhammer. And now we have that in writing. Warhammer 40,000 is not satire. It is a tale of a galactic apocalypse that mankind must fight to survive. That mankind rages against the dying of the light. And really, yeah, there you have it. This is a hammer blow to people who wish to, politicize Warhammer 40,000 as a hobby. And it is one that has been long coming, but Games Workshop, I wish to thank you for the confirmation, for actually being clear with your audience and letting them know that this is not a political setting, this is not commentary, this is just a fantastical science fiction story. And a great one at that. And I thank you for creating it. But yeah, that's all for me today. This is Marshall Bohemond. I wish you a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever, and I will see you later. Take care, everyone.